welcome, Will.
All right.
Welcome back.
Tyler Wellness back again. Digital marketing master, personal trainer of New Wave Coaching. Good to see you, my man.
An excellent trainer at that, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you too, bro.
Yeah.
First, I guess, how'd your week go?
Week's pretty good. It's Wednesday, as you know.
Yeah.
I haven't really been doing anything too crazy, just training clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Any new clients this week? Or?
I actually did get a new client this week.
Ooh, yeah.
How'd you know it, man?
I just, taking a guess. I know you were growing last week. You had some new clients, and I'm seeing your stuff on social. I know, the more you put yourself out there, people gravitate.
True.
So just was,
Yeah, I'm finding that it's happening more. It seems like I don't have to put as much effort forth to get more clients now, so that's kind of nice. It seems like people are kind of coming to me more post and talk about it, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So you're noticing the compound effect of just consistency.
Yeah, definitely noticing that compound effect, man. And it's good to see. It's been a journey for me. There's been times where I wanted to quit or just thought man, maybe this isn't working, or maybe I should do something else, or. But it's finally starting to pay off. I'm starting to see the returns on my investments, so it's quite nice.
Oh yeah, no, that's I'm loving that. I will notice the journey is not easy.
No, it's not.
And there's gonna be a lot of fight through moments when we're gonna be man, I could easily just go and get a job and not struggle and figure out I gotta supply for my bills, I gotta show up for clients, I gotta make everything happen.
Yeah, it's a lot running a business,
Yeah.
So. 7 different hats you gotta wear. You gotta do advertising, you gotta do marketing, sales is a part of it.
Yep.
For me, it's I have also a skill set. I have to be a good trainer, so I have to do the knowledge and learning of those aspects. How to train and how to do nutrition. Making content, that's another part. It's probably advertising also.
Yeah.
Taxes, accounting.
Right.
So there's a lot that goes into it. If I hire someone else, I have to train them. So it's a lot, but.
Yeah, no, but I think that's, again, the quote, it builds character. Because it's once you do these things, now you're man, I made it through all these challenges in the past. It's built me up to be who I am today, and you're able to pour that into other people. And I was talking to one of my friends, Mike. You know Mike.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how we notice as people spend time with us, whether it be just a day, a week, or whatever, their thought patterns change, their habits change, their conversations they engage with change. So just you being the person who you are and fighting through those moments is being a beacon of light and showing people the way.
True that. Yeah.
So keep crushing it.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's been pretty good. I'm feeling good physically, mentally. I feel like the withdrawal effects from the caffeine is kind of finally chilling out.
Yeah. Getting back.
I feel like more energy, more stamina-wise, strength-wise, and all this type of stuff. So.
Heck yeah. So, for the young bucks out there who are trying to get on caffeine and nicotine, you say, heck no, stay
Don't
off.
do that. Yeah, say no to drugs, man. Say no to drugs. Not good. We'll talk about that more. Maybe in this episode. Maybe in a different episode.
Yeah, maybe a different.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on in the world right now.
Mm-hmm. Now, how about your week, man? We didn't even.
Nah, it's all chill. My week was pretty good. It's still, on Wednesday, we did swing. We served lemonades and teas and coffee to the community coming downtown and swinging around.
Okay, bars.
It was fun. And then as I'm out there, I'm meeting all these new connections and people. You saw the guy come in today. He's not even from this state. He just happened to be up here on a random Tuesday, bump into us because he heard the music, came over, enjoyed the vibe, said he'd have to check out the cafe, came in today.
Right.
We're running into a whole bunch of people like that. Earlier this week, there was this guy that I met at a Staples, and we chatted it up for 45 minutes in Staples.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like, he asked me for my, his name's Logan, and he does this like, at first he had a traditional job, and a couple years ago he ran into someone who kind of showed him the way, and he kind of had to influence that person to let him come under his wing and learn from him. So he became an entrepreneur, started his world of self-development and stuff like that, and we just started talking it up because he's like, man, one, I like your vibe, and the things that we were chatting about, it's like what we talk about in our mastermind, things that he's like, I don't have like a lot of people in the community that I can talk to about these ideas without them being like,
Right. It's over their
so,
head.
yeah, like they don't get it. So it was really
back
cool.
to Matrix.
Yep. All right. Well, you go think conceptually. I'm gonna just punch in.
I gotta watch some Netflix
Yeah.
series.
So that was really cool. And on top of that,
You said he was an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
line of work is he doing?
well, he's working with a guy who started his business, and they do like business startup stuff. So they'll like help you with your idea, getting it to where you can kind of scale it up from an idea to fruition.
Okay.
He helps e-commerce companies and stuff like that too. So very similar to like my business.
Kind of, yeah. Similar
Yeah.
to you almost.
Yeah, just different title, but does the same structural things. Yeah.
A little bit of a business consultant, like.
Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty cool. Just like meeting like-minded people. And then opportunities coming my way. I helped Tiff with the massage ads. So I got those launched.
Sweet.
And those are going to be really cool. I'm looking at them and I'm like, man,
Fuego.
yeah,
See.
yeah. See. So yeah, this has been a really good week. And now here we are Wednesday, and we're about to do this coffee festival thing starting tomorrow.
Coffee festival.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of cafes in the local area, and people can get these punches as they go around to different coffee shops and try them out. And I guess, like, you know, it's just a way to get the community involved, try out other coffee shops and stuff like that. And it's going to be this whole weekend long thing, like Thursday through Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Coffee convention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So people out here trying us out. It's
Nice.
really awesome.
That's gonna be downtown.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Sweet. Rosa Parks.
just all around here. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
come to the cafe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So, yeah. Other than that though, just trying to stay sharp. Been trying to stay up to date on the crypto a little bit. Sharpened my saw with marketing and editing. Watched a couple videos just to try to, again, just be better in all ways, you know. And then working out every day still.
Nice.
Yeah. So thank you.
Good, man. Yeah, you had kind of spoke on that too, as money's kind of moving funny around this time, man.
Yeah. It's like, what do you mean by that, by the way?
Well, I'm kind of like in a stock trading course. I kind of stay up to date with these guys, and they're in there talking about how the the market's kind of like overbought, and it's kind of like we should be heading toward a recession, but it's not quite doing that just yet. So it's like a bubble almost.
Ready to pop, yeah.
Yeah, and the inflation rate, and it's still, the interest rate is still really high on the inflation and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's weird. I'm hearing a lot of information about like housing market. There's all these loans going out that have too high of an interest rate, and they're ready for that to blow. All the interest rates being super high on cars and vehicles, and that's ready to blow. The price of energy going up, and people also trying to move away from gasoline vehicles to electric vehicles. But as they do so, also the cost of electric is going up. So
A lot of strange stuff going on.
a lot of strange stuff, lots. And like honestly, at this point, it's just a matter of like, okay, XYZ is happening. Now, what does that mean for me? And like, how can I like not just survive, but thrive in the time, right? And I think like for the common folks, we think of just surviving instead of thriving. And like survival is good, but if you're focusing all your attention and efforts and energy into just surviving, you're never going to have the energy or effort necessary to thrive. So trying to shift the focus and think like, I'm seeing the world changing how they focus on money with the brick system. I'm seeing the fact that our money is backed on debt, and if other countries who owe us money are moving away from using our debt-backed money, it's only a couple, maybe 5-10 years before their debt is completely paid off to us, and therefore our money has no power because it's based off the debt that they owe us. And if they don't plan to use us anymore because they don't want to take our debt and they'd rather do asset-backed money, what'll that mean for us? Our dollars that we love, and we see the value of it going down from $1 down to like 90 cents, 80 cents, like it doesn't actually change that it's 100 pennies, but it just changes what I can buy with that. You took your $10 before, you could get like, whole meal and everything now. Now that same meal is like $15, $20.
Yeah, it's fucking extortion for food and stuff, dude. It's like, man, it's like $20 a meal, whereas before it's like 10, 15.
And so it's just like watching all these things. I'm mentally trying to escape using money for anything. Like make enough partnerships, make enough connections, and exchange and create an ecosystem that has all the things that I need within it, and I pour into that ecosystem, and in return I get to receive the benefits of the flowers blooming from it.
Okay, almost like more of a trading and bartering system.
Yeah.
Right.
And like if I have, people who own, let's say if I mentally map out all of the resources I have, and I have someone who has like farmland, and I have someone who wants to own a grocery store, right? Let's just say. And then another guy who needs ingredients from the farm to make their stuff. Maybe it's clothing and fragrances, leather and all that kind of stuff. Connect the people together, let them leverage off each other, and then let them like conceptually see the map on how if you're pouring into him and he's pouring into you and you're pouring into him, it goes a lot further than I'm taking my hard-earned money, giving to someone, they're taking it away somewhere else, they're now using it. We're just taking our resources from us and giving it away rather than taking our resources and pouring it back.
Right.
So sustainability is a big concept I've been thinking about lately, especially with the nonprofit too. It's just a lot going on.
Yeah. Right, I'm kind of thinking, and it kind of feels like, to me, crypto's about to boom again.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of feel like, because I see it's kind of chill, nobody's talking about it, nobody's really worried about it, and that's when it seems like it's like, oh, here goes crypto again, Dogecoin, or some type of coin that's going to blow up. So I've been thinking about investing some more into that.
I also, on the way here this morning, I was like, man, if I just, I could buy, tons of the assets that, heck, I'd get, a fraction of them before. Like, Cosmos was $40. You can get it for, $8.40 right now. So, for $80, you get, 10 of them, almost. Well, $100, you get, 10 of them. So, whereas before, for $100, you get 2. So, I'm like... I was like, man, I'm about to drop some and buy some of these assets that I have, and don't buy it for the dollar amount, buy it for the asset quantity amount, right? Because if before, literally a year and a half ago, that $100 put in would only have got me 2. Now I can get 10.
Right.
And like you said, no one's talking about it. The value and usability is still there. And other countries are accepting crypto, and ours is the only one with the SEC saying stuff where they're like, maybe we don't want to do that. Maybe we want to use a CBDC. They want to invent technology that they've, not really been in, and instead of using tried and tested and true technology from other people who over the years have learned through blockchain splits and failures and all these other things, fixed them. We're gonna have that same thing with the gov.
Yeah, I think they are moving towards like a digital currency. That's something I'm hearing too. Is like, if you think about it, it basically kind of already is. Like your money is in a bank. It's just numbers on a screen, and then you're going everywhere. You just swipe your card, or you do a Cash App and you send someone money, or Venmo money. All this money is just moving digitally. You're not even having any paper currency really.
Yep.
So
precisely. There's no, like, back in the day, they'd have to actually take the gold from one building and transport it to another, and now the assets have been transferred. One bank now has your money. Like if I were to say have Chase and then you have Capital One, and I do a transaction with you, that transaction is the transfer of funds. I'd either give you a gold brick physically, or if I had that card, I swipe it, use it, that bank's now transferring the money. Now it's just a spreadsheet with money on it. It's like $1 million of value, move over. So why does that also, at a bank, if you use that, cost you like copious percentages to send like $1 million?
Oh, like a wire transfer, right?
Exactly. Versus crypto, doesn't matter if it's $10, $100,000, $1 million, whatever. Super cheap, like change.
Yeah.
They just don't want to lose up that control because, again, that is power.
Right. Yeah, man, it's interesting times that we're living in, man. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, to say the very least.
Yeah.
You had said something about the brick system. What is that?
Yeah, so, the brick system is asset-backed currency.
So like what we used to have in like 1980s when we were backed by gold, the U.S. dollar was, right?
Yeah, pre-Creature from Jekyll Island times, you know what I'm saying? Basically, if I were to go and mine gold, go down, I'm digging, that's a dangerous job, but because of the gold having value, I'd make quite a bit of money for that, and then I could sell the gold and whatnot, and that gold itself has value, so I would feel okay like going in there, digging it up. Not me personally, but someone would be okay going in there, digging it up, taking it out, trading their physical body, pain and labor for the equivalent of the value of that gold. Now we just have debt-backed gold, so it's like debt-backed money. So it's like, hey, if I say I owe you $1 million and I'll pay it back in the form of, future currency coming through my hand and to you in the next 10 years. You just believe there's value coming, and there is no physical, tangible item that you can then take and give to someone else for that. It's just my word,
right.
my promise, right? Which is why they call it promissory notes. So, because I promised to pay. And with asset-backed gold, there is actually a physical asset that is backing the value that you state that you are capable of paying. And therefore, again, if I'm wrong on my word or like whatnot, you have this physical asset, you can take it to someone else, they see value in it. Someone might not see value in the idea that I sold you. So you can't trade the idea, like Coca-Cola, it came off as like just a recipe, a formula. And a doctor sold that formula to a dude because he didn't see the value in it. That guy saw the value and started selling it as bottles of Coke, So
with actual Coke in it.
Yeah, with actual Coke in it, yeah. But still, he saw the value in it and saw what it could be. Someone else who had that same, had the resource, had the same everything, but just didn't see the value, right?
That's how it works, huh? That's the story of Coke.
Yeah,
right.
Yep. So, or he saw it for only like $500 worth of value, because I think that's what he sold his formula for, like $500.
Right.
Yeah, which I mean, at that time,
it was probably a decent amount.
yeah, it
probably
was like $5K,
$2,000. Yeah,
maybe something like 2-5. So it was a good chunk of change. But now you see how big Coca-Cola's worth,
$1 billion industry.
Exactly. So if I sell you on an idea, it's an IOU, you give me this, the currency to go use it, I now got the currency. Maybe my idea flops. You're out of luck. So you're on the idea, asset backed. Well, you still have the assets. You can do whatever you want with the asset. You don't have to go and sell someone else on my grand idea to make it valuable. You know, so value stays in the asset that everyone sees value in.
Right. Yeah, 100%, man.
But it's a social concept. It's so crazy.
Oh, what is it?
It's social concept. Like this is just the funny part.
Oh, like, social concept, like money only holds value because we give it value type.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's like this whole thing is just funny. That's why like people don't see the value in the crypto because they don't understand that it's the same concept, but just now the people understanding that, taking control, and then saying there shouldn't be the fees for XYZ transfers. All these things are just BS.
It should be instant transfer.
Yeah, because it is. That's how it is in the banks. But they're like, we have to move the physical money, so it's going to be a $30,000 wire transfer fee, and or whatever they want to say, like international transfer charges.
Right. Our cut.
Yeah, it's their cut. It's their cut because they're like, oh, this guy's got money. They want to move money. Well, we need a cut.
Right.
But they're not moving money.
No, just numbers on screen moving.
Yeah. I mean, like me getting paid to text someone. Like, I'm just relaying the message.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like you have a robot do that for you.
Yep, exactly. Oh, every time you need something, tell me. Okay, click, robot does it. Ka-ching. Then don't even tell me, text this number. Text, ka-ching.
Right.
Like now it's an automated system. I'm making money every time. Called an app. Yeah. So I don't mean to get off on a tangent, but it's just like all these things that are
I think this is
unrolling
a tangent.
very...
I think this is what we're going to talk about today. Money, finances, the current state of the financial marketplace, and what we should be doing about that.
Well, it's like I would say, like mentally, I've gotten so much. Not even just mentally, I guess physically and mentally, I've gotten so much more from not focusing on monetary dollar amount, but more on like the impact I have and can give. So like, I know money is a social concept, but I also know if I were to do something for someone completely out of the goodness of my heart, the likelihood of them doing some type of positive, or not even just that person, but like a positive karmic action of some type coming back to me is good.
Right.
Like it's a higher likelihood because if I'm a good person and putting out good energy, like the universe matches it.
Comes back to you.
Yeah.
The law of reciprocation.
Yeah. So since I know this basic law of the universe, heck, I have a skill set. If I'm able to and I do something for someone, somehow when I need something, I will have that. Even if it's just like, oh, you helped me a long time ago with XYZ, now I'm in a position to help you with XYZ. Something very basic, but like a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
And just pouring into the resources, like do a ton of free work for my clients. I do a ton of free work, in general. And then it's like, hey, you can, like, say, even with Austin, right? Like, I've done work with them before so much, even before they had their physical studio. Now I can join the classes whenever I want. If I wanted, I could join every day. If it's a good benefit. I give you all these, give me this.
Right, free
cool.
training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah, you're good at that. You've done that in multiple situations. I've seen you do that, like with Spencer.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
All right, I'll record your videos for you, and you train me also. Boom, there we go. Now we're getting that, going back into that bartering system.
Because like it's just realizing the social concept behind the money. Like if I were to give you money anyway, you're gonna go use it for something. Maybe it's to hire a videographer. Right. So maybe instead of using the money in general, let's just trade.
Yeah, straight trade.
So only difference is you can't take that traded value and go spend it with someone else. You got to give them value in somehow.
Right.
But that's it. So I don't know. Just seeing money that way, seeing it as give value. Heck, if you go out to a bar and you just like buy people drinks, I'm not saying go do that, but like if you go do that, your experience completely changes.
Right.
You go from being like, oh, I got my own drink and sipping, but like now you buy someone else a drink and they start talking, and then they see you out next time. Hey, now that impact, you never know who they know. You never know if they might be out with someone prominent. This guy bought me a drink one day, introduces you, now you got a crazy cool connection. So just being social with it. Like, I've seen Casey do that a lot. He'll buy people drinks, just hand them out, and then they start talking. Now they got a network. He's got a huge network of people because he just does stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really cool.
Right. Never hurts to give.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when it comes back, kind of reeling it back to the current state of things, I feel like like the country as a whole may be in a scarcity mindset, and because of the scarcity mindset, we turn off our giving. Turning off our giving, we then see less receiving, and if you see less receiving, it magnifies your scarcity mindset.
Right.
So all you got to do is start to give.
Yeah.
You know, pay attention to what you can give, not always monetary value, but just value. Period. You know, like, you might not have 10 grand, but maybe you have 10 grand worth of value in the form of a listening ear. You know?
True. Someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, even this podcast, like.
Yeah, this could be valuable. Hopefully it's valuable to you guys, you know? Yeah.
Well, what do you think, though? I mean, I just went off on a huge, like, blurb of info.
Yeah, I definitely think it is something to be aware of, something to educate yourself on. You know, back like maybe November, December, somewhere along time of last winter time, I was watching a podcast with Luke Belmar, and he was going in and talking about how Russia, China, maybe Japan, just all these different countries who they owe debt to the United States with their U.S. dollar, and they're trying to get away from that because they realize that if we keep using their money, we have to keep paying them back their money at a high interest rate, and their dollar is crap. It's going down.
Yo.
It's worth less than whatever. And then the fact is that we're just printing the money. The United States just prints this money. There's no, like, it's not backed by anything. They're just like, oh, well, we need like $1 trillion more to catch up with the debt, and they just print it. And they're like, well, that's not really a good idea. Why do we keep using this money? So they're getting away from using the United States money, using this U.S. dollar, and they're getting into creating their own currencies and creating their own currencies that are backed by rare minerals and like things of value. So like gold, silver, petroleum, and all of these like Earth's resources, so to speak.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the difference between, and for like just the audience, just that, again, the difference between it is these hard to get resources versus an IOU is literally hard to do, hard to get, hard to acquire. You cannot go and dig up diamonds and gold and silver easily in your backyard. Yeah, it's literally like a very hard thing to do. But I can, from the comfort of my own bed, say, I owe you, I'll pay you in a couple years. Just give me the time and I'll pay some interest. That's easy. I can also say, I'm gonna open up an extra box of Monopoly money, say I had more money, give it to you, and you're gonna come back and pay me with interest. And then on top of that, I'm printing more money for this guy, I'm printing more money for this guy.
For loans.
Printing more, exactly, and
Right.
these are the IOUs.
Oh, yeah. IOUs alone. Right.
And that's, again, like asset backed. There's always the physical gold. I don't mean to go back into that, but just again going for them.
But yeah, basically what he was saying was like, I mean, it's kind of a new idea for me. I didn't really know about it, but he was saying that they've been doing this for years, that they've been having the strategy to get away from the U.S. dollar, creating their own currencies that are backed by raw earth minerals and things that hold value, and they've been doing this for years. So I can imagine that sooner or later, they're going to be like, nah, we don't want to use the U.S. dollar anymore, and that's going to create like all types of hell.
Oh, absolutely. And so, like, thinking and knowing that is the direction, like my buddy and I, we started to sit down and like have some conversations on like, what do you think the best action would be to do, knowing that they are gathering all of this natural resource, right? We thought about, probably what everyone's thinking about. Wouldn't I just buy natural resources? Could I buy gold? Could I buy silver? You could, but then it's also the matter of now you have to pay to store the gold, pay to store the silver. You have to put it somewhere,
It's liability. You got gold bricks in your basement.
Yeah.
And so that word gets out, somebody comes in there, and now you got to keep a gun to protect you and safe.
Yeah. Is it worth the mental stress?
Right. Gold's heavy. It's hard to move.
Yeah. All of that. And on top of it, it's like you could also try to, be tech savvy and smart and say, then I'll just buy a gold ETF or a silver ETF. But then you have to pay the maintenance fees of owning an ETF, which is just a fee you pay for a group of people to say, yep, we own these shares.
Right.
And
even something like that, it's like, okay, yeah, I want to buy like a gold IRA. And you start putting money into the gold IRA. It's like, what if like the system fails and they're just like, oh well, your money's gone.
Yeah.
Your $40,000 your $100,000 is gone.
Mm-hmm. You're still trusting the custodial access as your point to your money.
Right.
You put it all in, let's say, Robinhood, and all of a sudden Robinhood's like, haha, we robbed y'all in the hood, and then we took all of your money, and you're doomed. Like, it's gone.
Right.
And it's not FDIC insured, which also that's not real, truthfully, because they have up to 99 years to pay you out, or to investigate to pay you out, if you look into it.
Up to 99 years?
Up to 99 years to do an investigation to see if they'll pay you out. Yeah, so that's interesting.
Right. I'll be rich in 100 years. 62
You're already,
right now.
Yeah.
Damn.
And probably they have, I'm sure, because, being savvy as they are, they have like clauses where it probably won't transfer to your offspring or anyone else. So, yeah, it's just interesting.
It's tough, yeah.
I was talking to one of my friends who, because I used to work in a bank, but I didn't really look into all of that stuff. But I was talking to a friend who was a banker, and he was saying, yeah, I looked at the fine print of the FDIC insurance, and it says they have up to 99 years to do an investigation to see if they'll even pay you.
Right.
Yeah.
To investigate.
Yeah.
It's not saying we're gonna get paid. We're gonna just look into it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, that's such a. But then you're like, oh, it's insured. Let me throw my money at it. It creates the concept of safety. So, all that, just to say, I would potentially buy foreign exchange. Like, I would put my money and potentially buy the currency that is backed by the asset. So I would probably exchange some US dollars for bricks. And
for a different country's currency.
Yeah.
That's an idea.
Yeah. I mean, as right now, if our current currency is going down, if I can get today's rate in their currency that maintains or goes up in value, because as demand for the gold and silver goes up, their value of the dollar or their brick system dollar will go up too.
Right.
If I get some at today's rate, tomorrow's rate should be essentially like each one of those will buy me more things, similar to how the US dollar was before. You take the $1 US, go into like Indonesia and get like 5 times the experience than you would here in America. So you take the brick system dollar, and now you can probably go to America and get 10 times the value that you could have with the regular US dollar. You see? So if I had at today's value before the plummet happens,
right,
hold it, plummet happens, now you're a rich man.
That's a good idea. Buy some Russian rupees.
Yeah.
Some rubles, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess the ruble. I mean,
Isn't
that would
that
have
kind
been
of going
really
against our
good
country?
I mean, is it? We should have looked more into cryptocurrency as a whole,
right.
And
maybe they should care about us more. Huh?
Yeah, maybe they should look into like actual fixes that matter. Like we the people have established crypto, and then the entity of the government run by people who don't understand crypto are trying to regulate it.
Right. Yeah, they
Does
do
that make
heavily
sense?
block on crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
They don't want you to use crypto.
no.
No.
I mean, it makes...
I've had times where I've been trying to buy crypto and the bank's like, oh, well, we can't approve this transaction or something like that, or it doesn't understand.
Yeah, that's why, like, certain cards, I've had that too. Like, I can't use a specific card. The transaction won't go through. They're trying to, like, they said they're trying to, like, close crypto supporting banks, stuff like that. And the whole thing is, like, the big why they try to say, because it's anonymous and it's, you know, all these things. But the big why is they just want to control the power and know where the transactions are going. You know?
Right.
If I were to say, you post a video, let's say it's COVID-7, you know, in the future for some reason.
COVID-2.
Yeah, COVID-2. And you post some information about, like, a nutritional mix that does work because it's using, you know, say, like, basically natural ingredients that they would have put in, like, maybe a vaccine, but you found the natural form of it. Yeah, exactly. You know, and then you talk about it, they censor you, they say you're crazy, and they also then say your money doesn't work. And they block your wallet from working, and you cannot purchase. You cannot exchange money with other individuals for them to purchase.
That sounds tough, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I did watch an episode of Black Mirror, bro. It was like the first season, I think. It was like one of the first episodes. And in the episode, it was like there was a social credit system, which I think China's actually kind of moving towards.
Yeah.
They have like all this technology that, like, you walk around the street and it sees who you are. If you, like, litter, then it, like, takes down your score. You can't go to some places or something. But it was along the lines of that. Everything that was happening in the video had to do a lot with, like, social media, and it was like your rating. If you did, like, bad things, your rating would go down, and then you essentially couldn't use money, or, like, you couldn't get into certain places. It was a trippy episode.
I do remember that episode.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day when I had Netflix, I watched Black Mirror because that was like what people were talking about.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. It's like a good. I like that one. It's like futuristic, and it's kind of like foreshadowing.
Yeah.
To say the least. Yeah.
What's interesting about, I mean, like you said, it's foreshadowing, but what's interesting about that is I heard a podcast, I don't remember who it was that was speaking on this podcast, but they were talking about, if you look at China is the model for what we will become. They've always had things before we have. We've always then been given access to it after they've been tested on it.
Right.
You know, we see how it works with them, send it to us. Or they invent it, send it to us. So we already see these concepts exist. As you say, the face tracking. Now we had the whole world go where they had to all wear masks. You don't think that makes face tracking even stronger?
Right.
So now everyone who is wearing a mask has already been tested on for the ability of face tracking, being able to see you in your mask and recognize who you are underneath that. So if that's already there,
all the phones now, they use the
phone uses
Face ID.
Face ID.
Right.
Yes, it's already connected.
All that happened within the time of, like, COVID too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Super quick and easy, and then they're like, oh, don't worry.
It was
we'll
like, all right, COVID, you have to wear a mask. We have the new iPhone. It tracks your Face ID. I have to take my mask off to see if it works.
Yep. And now they offer where you can have your mask on.
And it still works.
And it works. I haven't set that up or anything. I don't even wear a mask, of course. But,
I do notice that it'll work, like, wear sunglasses. Like, oh, it still works.
Yeah, yep. It's like, interesting. Because, again, it's Face ID is pretty powerful. We're just not realizing what we're actually feeding it everything, every day.
Right. All the photos that you take of yourself, all the videos that you take of yourself.
Yeah. And it's, like, interesting because, being an influencer like as we are, there's a lot of us online.
Yeah.
You know, I've already in the future seen mentally, like, man, what if you're able to get retina scans and get all these things from just a video. And then you're able to use those things to access retina scan doors and retina scan lock boxes or bank accounts or whatever you need. And then this concept of a mass hack is real. And also the concept of a mass solar storm wiping the internet could be a cover story for the people are waking up and understanding that they're being controlled by the media. We need to reset.
I have also heard that solar storm thing.
Yeah.
That thing's gonna happen soon, probably.
Yeah.
I've been watching TikTokers and they're like, yeah, this is how you can like clean fresh water.
Oh yeah.
Using this device. A lot of survival tech. It's like, damn, that's dark. If they just wipe the internet or wipe the electricity, so to say.
Yep.
Like, wow,
it's over.
that'd be crazy.
Yeah. And the thing is, like,
it's like, oh, my money in my bank account. It's like your card doesn't work because you don't have paper cash anymore. It's all in the bank. The bank's all closed because it's like, well, yeah, we can't do anything. We can't give you money because...
And that's why, like, at the end of the day, I think that having a ecosystem of individuals who understand that the only thing about money is that it has a power over people because they see it as a lifeline. But they don't see what money is as a social concept of value exchange. And if I become, or you become, or they become a valued member in society, you do not need money. Your value becomes your money.
Right.
Your existence, your presence, your being becomes your currency.
Skill set.
Yeah.
Right.
So even if the internet is to get completely wiped, if you would establish an ecosystem of people that understood that and had all the resources that you needed, like farmers and people that would go do the water and then maybe hunting and all, whatever you needed, all within a community, the world will be on fire, but your ecosystem will be fine. Because the world's on fire because all the people that don't see that concept of money is just exchange. And I can exchange right now, starting fresh with a community of people. You know, so that's what I fear. It's like fighting the people with the world's on fire, because like, they're gonna come into my peaceful ecosystem and try to be like, oh, look at all these resources, and raid.
Well, we also need the guy with the guns.
Yeah, exactly.
The military tactic, dude, who trains us.
Yep, we offer protection.
Right.
We offer protection while also being protected at all times. You know, we have our own. Not yet, but
not yet.
It's like have our own personal security or army. You know, like that's about it. Like you'll have to prepare for those times, but learn the skill set, create an ecosystem of individuals, focus on the essentials: farming, water, shelter, food, water, shelter, and then from there build up. You know, protection, and. I don't know, I've been thinking a lot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. I also see it on my feed. There's like guys who are like off the grid and they're like, this is how you farm. You should start a farm. Grow your own food.
So what are your thoughts though? Like, do you think that we'll get to the point of like an apocalyptic anarchy like that?
It's really hard to say, but you know, that whole COVID thing, that shit was like a movie. So seeing that, I wouldn't doubt it.
I know,
you know, I've already seen that in my lifetime.
Yeah, like I mean, like
that was really unexpected. So you know, I can't say what I couldn't expect to see now.
It's facts. Yeah, we literally watched the world burn in multiple different areas that you'd never expect to see. Like our city.
Right here in this city.
Yeah, in this city.
Riots.
Like, no way is this real life. Going down the street like.
Yeah. Dumpsters on fire and stuff.
Cop cars blown out, windows and like carcasses of the vehicle just left. Like, holy moly.
Yeah. $30,000 police truck. Like, man.
Gee. Like, Molotov cocktails and all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Were
mean,
you down there when all that was happening?
I witnessed. I wasn't down there.
You
No.
were on live though,
Yeah,
weren't you?
yeah, I was on live. I saw. Uh, I was doing affiliate marketing on live. That was funny, but yeah, it was crazy.
I actually drove my motorcycle into town and was just kind of
Really?
like, yeah, looking at all
Man,
the shit.
you trust like that?
Huh?
You said you trusted like that, huh?
Like trust what?
Like, I mean, I was figuring like one, if you're in a motorcycle, it's more when you can maneuver better.
Yeah,
You
I
can
could like run
do
away
things.
and stuff.
Yeah, but I also figure like,
Yeah, I could also be very open to like flying objects and stuff. Like somebody hit me
yeah,
with a Molotov cocktail.
yeah, like it's a lot.
Or police like shot me. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, you're a lot more exposed and open to danger, so more susceptible. I feel like in a car, I'd be driving and I'd get stuck, and like all of a sudden now I'm stuck here.
Yeah.
But you're able to maneuver, but you're also now maneuvering through hell.
Yeah.
So,
Shots fired.
yeah.
Shot the guy off the bike.
No.
Yeah, I didn't stay for very long. I drove through, and then I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Saw the fires.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I shot out.
Man, nah. What? I don't know. So, any like advice you got though for?
Personally, I know what I'm gonna try to do is make as much money as I possibly can to save my family.
Immediate. Mhm.
And yeah, man. I think that'll be safe. I think if you have money, you'll be safe.
What if the solar storm happens?
Well, like you said, with money comes value. So if you're
Yeah.
making a lot of money, you must provide some type of value, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's another thing to diversify your money. So if you have like a reasonable amount of money, you can invest in things like gold. I think that will still be of value. You know, I think that as humans, we're always kind of like, what's the word you could say, like societal, and we do things for reputation. So even in a place of like anarchy, there still be like people who would want to hold a higher social status by wearing like bling bling and wearing gold. And if you have these things, you could barter maybe for your safety to have these things, or or something that holds value. So it's a good idea to diversify your investments as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Diversify, like, I guess it's like, I would say yes. I mean, you have money, like, making it, get as much as you want. Like, get as much as you can right now. Because, like, you translate that into value in any different way. Whether it be now you're able to own these resources, you own land, you own buildings, you own factories, you own, like, whatever can work during those time frames when things go down, or you have assets that you can exchange for your safety, or assets you can exchange for things of value in those times.
Right.
Someone else has a skill of cooking, you got a silver or gold bracelet. I want to eat this week. Give them the bracelet. They make you a meal every day this week, and now you're chilling.
Right.
Maybe every day this month, because that's a gold bracelet. But it's all, that kind of comes back down to the concept though of like why they chose gold, silver, and all certain precious metals as the value holder in the first place. Is because like someone might see value in that meal as like $20 worth of value, and someone else might see value in that meal as like $5, right? And based off from market value in different individuals seeing it differently, maybe different date, different flavoring, different seasonings. Oh, you got fresh vegetables, they didn't. Different, it would just be all a variable of differences. They chose the metals because it's hard to acquire, and also because it's hard to acquire, then they had their rating systems, like if it's like, 10 karat, 12 karat, the quality. So then they created a standard on it. Can't really create like too much of a standard on like
Something so varied, like a food or something.
right. Yeah. But like you said, those natural resources that are hard to get, diamonds, gold, anything. Even probably in that time, like in anarchy,
Might be crypto. Who knows?
might be. But
Maybe.
then in that time, even having a generator would be value.
Something
like
that cleans water.
someone that cleans water, like
A filtering process. Yeah.
like those things would be like rated so high up because you need
Gasoline.
Yeah, because you need the gasoline for the generator. So now it's like, all right, we'll use a generator to have some power so you can charge your phone so you can access your crypto.
Right.
Otherwise, you can't do that. And now gas becomes super valuable as it already is. So you can power the generator, so then you can charge your phone, so you can even trade value.
Right.
So maybe you sell access to the generator. You want to charge right now? You gotta give me some value. Where's my meal?
Right. Yeah.
You know? It's crazy.
Yeah. There was a book, I can't quite remember it. I think it was like a podcast that they were talking about, but there's a guy who was like really into the trading and bartering system, and he really was trying to he wrote this book to kind of like emphasize that we should go back to trading and bartering as a system as a whole.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think as far as with that concept?
He sounded like he had a pretty good grip on it, but the only way that it would work is if everyone was doing it.
Right. Yeah.
Because and then some things can't really be bartered for and traded. It kind of depends. Like a person who just wants to look good, they might not invest in like personal training, but someone who's like in a dire state of health, it might be worth it to them. So it's like it's kind of a trade-off. Some things can be traded and bartered for. Some things are harder to be traded and bartered for. So I think it kind of comes back to like what you were saying. It's going to take a system of everyone trading and bartering in order for it to work.
Yeah. I'd say right now even because prior to this even discussion, I mentioned that I made that deal with a new client. Partial bartering. There's cash. There's a monetary amount that he is going to pay up front, and then another monetary amount he's going to pay once the work is complete. And also, then there's the trade aspect where I'm going to also provide some education and other things so he can run it without me necessarily having to ever touch it again. And in exchange, I get things from his store, and like obviously I'd still be a resource for him if he has questions, but like I like what he offers in the store. I offered him a hefty monetary discount for in exchange what he does what he does best. So finding ways in which benefits both parties. I know he was looking for, came to me looking for some kind of monetary offer. I made a mix. So I think that doing things like that, that can combat inflation. You go to like a place that the value is already increased, or the price of things is already increased. Maybe you go to a restaurant. You have a connection of people who own their own farm and has fresh vegetables and stuff. You bring that restaurant some fresh vegetables or whatever they need. In exchange, they lower your bill for your meal pretty significantly. They use those then given ingredients to either make your meal or someone else's meal. And if you bring enough ingredients, they use it for the day or whatever.
Right.
But
here, I got some food. Cook me some food, and then you can have the rest of the food.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Like they'll just find ways to integrate both. Like if you were to bring them their day's supply of resources, I'm sure they'll feed you for the week.
Right.
Or whatever. So finding unique ways to incorporate leveraging skills that we have in exchange for value. Like talent to income, except talent to value.
Talents to talents.
Yeah, talents to talents. T to T.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. I think we went pretty in depth. We covered a lot of stuff there. A lot of stuff about financing and resources.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about on there? Or?
No, I think I'm pretty good, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Same here. This is a great chat.
Yeah.
Good catching up this week. Again, congrats on your new client. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely. And what you got for the rest of your week?
Training still. And training myself. Editing this video.
Yep.
That pretty much be about it, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
You?
Love it. After this, one of my buddies actually texted me just now. He was trying to see when I can come work out. So I'm gonna go work out. Potentially later work out again. And I got some videos to film today, and I got to send that guy a contract.
Right.
So.
Word.
Yeah.
There you go.
Other than that, just staying busy. Really focus on your health. Wealth will come, and then make actions that, like, I hate standing around saying I wish for something without actually having a plan to make it happen. And then if you have a plan to make it happen, go do something. So, like, I don't know, I hate just being idle. So I feel like I'm always just doing things. I feel like a lot of people, they sit around, I see them, I literally see it. They're sitting around waiting for things to happen to them, scrolling their phone, looking at social media, waiting for things to change in their life. And in reality, you gotta change. It's gotta be you. You gotta be the change. Change what you're doing right now. Are you scrolling on social media, just consuming fun, entertainment?
Not even education.
Yeah, not even education, just entertainment. And distracting yourself from the lack of action you're taking on your goals. Or you're just gonna go and finally have enough and change it.
Yeah, that's the word to the wise is your attention is your value, the more attention you can put into something, the more it's gonna grow. If I'm trying to start a garden, but I don't put enough time into the garden to grow it, because I'm like scrolling on TikTok, I'm not gonna have any food.
No, you're starving.
So value your attention. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap this episode up, and we will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not already. If there's topics that you'd like us to cover in future chats, or you have any questions on previous chats, feel free to let us know in the comments down below. We're building this ecosystem that we talked about all together, us and you included. So join us on this journey, guys. Let us know what you guys are thinking, what you're thinking about in your world, and how we can be beneficial to you.
Absolutely, man. Feel free to reach out to us on social media. We're on all platforms. But with that, signing out, Professor IllWill, CEO of New Wave Coaching.
And Tyler Wellness, make yourself a priority.
Peace.